Good evening to you. People started enjoying holiday, Puja holiday. TA, traveling allowance, to retiring government servants. Traveling allowance as on transfer, as detailed below, will be granted to a retiring government servant when he settles down in a station other than last station of duty. Suppose somebody is working in Delhi and he settles down in Delhi itself, there is no question of any TA. But if he moves out from Delhi, he may belong to Punjab, but he may settle in Mumbai. So he will get transfer TA, just equivalent to transfer TA for his journey and settlement there. What are the items he will get? Composite transfer grant, that is equal to 80% of basic pay. Journey by whatever mode you go by. Then personal effects, that is household article, transportation of household articles, that is personal effects. Transportation of personal conveyance, suppose two-wheeler or four-wheeler, whatever vehicle you have for your personal use. Transportation of that particular personal conveyance. The retired employee and family may travel from last headquarters to declared hometown or to any other selected place of residence where he wishes to settle. It is not essential that he should go to his hometown only to settle. He may select some other place to settle. The concession should be availed by the employee during LPR or within 1 year of the date of his retirement. That is during LPR. The LPR is nothing but you are availing the leave entitled to you. आपका खाते में जो भी लीव है EL, HPL, that you are availing before retirement. Leave preparatory to retirement. That doesn't mean there is a separate kind of leave like LPR. You are taking the leave at your credit, and that leave account will be debited. There is no separate LPR. Other conditions are, it's not admissible to the government servant who resigns or is dismissed or removed or compulsorily retired from service as punishment. Suppose किसी को dismiss किया जाता है और compulsorily retire किया जाता है, उनको ये this allowance, transfer allowance, TA will not be entitled. It's not admissible to government servant who resigns. Also, admissible to temporary government servant with at least 10 years of service who are superannuated or invalidated or retrenched from service without an offer of alternative appointment. Suppose temporary government servant is there, he has put in 10 years of service. If he retires, then he will get this traveling allowance for going to some place where he wants to settle. Suppose he goes on invalid pension, then also he will get this. If because of abolition of certain permanent posts, he is retrenched from service, he is removed from service because the vacancy, that post is not there, abolished. And the efforts will be to find an alternative employment for him. Agar OB successful nahi raha, then in that case, he will be sent home. In that case, this allowance is admissible. Claims of traveling allowance for family cannot be admitted until the retired government servant moves to the station of settlement. Suppose an employee serving in Mumbai is asking for TA to go and settle in Delhi, and his family is ready, but unless the government servant, retired government servant himself is moving out, then the family members cannot avail this. Advance of TA is admissible only when journeys performed during LPR, but not journeys after retirement. That is, TA is entitled in any case, that is, whether the government servant moves during LPR or the family moves within 1 year. The family and the retired official both are entitled for TA. But advance, in case they need advance, then that money will be given. Advance will be paid only if he applies during LPR. If he is retired, then thereafter he cannot apply for advance. The concession should be availed within 1 year from the date of retirement. Time limit of 1 year can, however, be extended by the head of the department. 1 साल के अंदर ये concession avail करना चाहिए. अगर नहीं है, it's not, you cannot. But the head of the department has powers to relax that rule and permit you to avail even after 1 year. TA to family of deceased employee. Suppose a government employee dies and the family wants to move to the place where they want to settle. So in that case, the family of the deceased employee will be entitled for traveling allowance. Traveling allowance as on retirement of a government servant is admissible to the family of the deceased government servant by the shortest route to the place where the family wishes to settle down permanently, provided the journey is completed within 1 year from the date of death of the government servant. Suppose somebody dies, the government servant dies, the family member can go to the place of their choice for settlement. That should happen within 1 year. Traveling allowance is admissible even if a member of family travels from a station other than the last headquarters of the government servant. Suppose somebody is serving in Chennai and that government servant dies. His family is shifting to Hyderabad. The entire family is entitled to her TA, just like a transfer TA they will get. At the same time, one of the family members, that is one child, is studying in a different city in Thiruvananthapuram. Then he is not able to move along with the other members of family. So in that case, he can join the family in the new place whenever he gets that opportunity, that he leave, etc. Powers to extend the time limit of 1 year will be exercised by the head of the department with the approval of financial advisor concerned. In individual cases, attendant with the special circumstances. Suppose somebody has reason for not moving within 1 year, then in that case, if they are able to satisfy the head of the department or the financial advisor, then they can, that family can be allowed to move even after 1 year. The concession is not granted in the following cases. Employee who die while on LPR, ये हमारा समझ में नहीं आता है. क्यों एक आदमी मर जाता है, when in service, his family is entitled for TA. When he is availing LPR, entitled leave, उस समय मर जाता है तो उसको वो family को नहीं मिलेगा. The analogy is not known. Contract employee or part-time workers, in case they die, the family will not get any TA. Retired government servant who have been re-employed pensioners, if they die, then the family will not get. Temporary government servant who has not completed 3 years of continuous service, then also the family won't get. If there is a temporary government servant who has not put in 3 years service, if he dies, in that case, his family is not entitled for this concession. Advance of TA not exceeding 3/4 of the probable amount of TA can be granted to only one member of the family, even if they travel in different groups, subject to furnishing surety bond from a permanent central government servant of status comparable or higher than that of the deceased employee, and also on an undertaking to render account of the advance within 1 month of completion of the journey. Suppose the family of the government servant who died, the family applies for TA advance, then they will get 3/4 of the entitled amount. Lekin agar one group moves from their place, last headquarters, then another person or two persons of the family, they are studying elsewhere and they want to join later on. Advance will be given only once. That under one condition, that there should be a surety bond signed by an official, serving official of equivalent rank, that is the rank equal to that of the official who died. उनका रैंक का बराबर का रैंक वाला एक ऑफिशियल का सूरिटी बॉन्ड चाहिए. In case they don't, because the official died and the family is moving out, in case they are not submitting the claim within the stipulated period, that period is only 1 month after they reach that place. They have to submit a bill making the claim within 1 month. So they should furnish a surety bond. Comparable or higher rank official. TA when recalled from leave. Suppose somebody is spending leave. They are on leave. Then they are recalled compulsorily to office. In that case also, they are entitled for mileage allowance, TA. When a government servant is compulsorily recalled to duty before the expiry of his leave, and the leave is thereby curtailed by not less than 1 month, he is entitled to draw mileage allowance to TA for the journey from the place at which the order of recall reaches him, or if the journey involves traveling by sea from the port at which he lands in India to the station to which he is recalled. Suppose somebody who is serving in Chennai, he is spending his leave, enjoying his leave in Andaman Nicobar. Then he is compulsorily called for duty and he is asked to directly go to Hyderabad. चेन्नई में काम करता है, वो छुट्टी लेकर अंडमान में लीव एंजॉय करने के समय ऐसा मुसीबत आ गया है इसको, he is being recalled and he is directed to report to Hyderabad office. In the case, that person has to report to the nearest port, that is Chennai itself. He will have to report to the nearest port. From then onwards, to go to Hyderabad, he will get this TA. Just equal to 2 TA. Mileage allowance only. Mileage allowance means only traveling cost. If the period by which the leave is curtailed is less than a month, इसका एक primary condition है. Suppose he has taken 60 days leave and he has spent only 45 days leave. No, he has availed only 25 days leave. The unspent leave is 35 days. So that is the condition. That is at least 1 month should remain to be spent. उसका छुट्टी 60 दिन का था, 25 days अवेल कर लिया, 35 days बैलेंस है. And the condition is the unspent leave, जो leave बाकी है, unavailed leave, वो 30 दिन से ज्यादा होना चाहिए. If the period by which the leave is curtailed is less than a month, mileage allowance may be allowed at the discretion of the authority recalling the government servant. Suppose unspent leave only 25 days, 20 days, 15 days. Compulsorily you are calling that person. So in that case, unless you agree to give TA, he may not come. So that is as using the discretion, they may allow even if the unspent leave is less than 30 days. If the government servant recalled to duty is entitled to TA under SR 124, that is when he is transferred to another headquarters, he may not draw TA as per para 1 above unless he abandons his claim. So suppose he is spending his leave in Andamans, he is called compulsorily, आपको आकर report करना चाहिए in the Delhi office. His headquarters is in Chennai, but he is spending his leave in Andaman. But the office is directing him to go to Delhi, not just on duty, but on transfer. उनको उसको बोला जाता है आज वापस इमीडिएटली वापस आओ, लेकिन चेन्नई में रिपोर्ट करना नहीं है. यू गो एंड रिपोर्ट एट दिल्ली. दैट विल बी योर न्यू प्लेस ऑफ पोस्टिंग. So he has got two options. One, he can avail that जो मुफ्त में आता है, जो traveling allowance from Chennai to Delhi. He can avail that, or he can avail transfer TA. In case he wants this, he won't get that. In case he takes that. So naturally, transfer TA is more beneficial. He will avail that. TA for persons not in government employed to attend an inquiry. Inquiry में कोई disciplinary case है, or any other inquiry. Inquiry में खाली official को ही witness का रूप में बुलाना है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Even non-official can be called as witness as per the requirement of the case. ऐसा एक आदमी जो गवर्नमेंट ऑफिशियल नहीं है, उसको बुलाया जाता है एज ए विटनेस. उसका टीए कैसा बनता है? A competent authority may grant to a person not in government employment who is required to attend a departmental inquiry TA for the journey calculated under the ordinary rules for the journey of a government servant on tour. जैसे टूर में जो एक आदमी जाता है उसको क्या मिलता है, 2 TA जैसा मिलता है, वो ऐसा वो नॉन ऑफिशियल को भी दे सकते हैं. That authority may in its discretion grant to the person concerned is actual traveling, hotel and carriage expenses instead of TA under normal rules, if it is considered that such allowance would be inadequate. खाली आप प्राइवेट पार्टी को विटनेस का रूप में बुलाते हैं, लेकिन you are going to give only mileage allowance. In that case, he may not come. That witness may not come because that may not be sufficient to meet his expenses from the his own place to the place of inquiry. In that case, the controlling officer should use his discretion and may grant to TA. All heads of the departments have been declared competent authority for this purpose. तो ये ऐसा देने का, प्राइवेट पर्सन को गवर्नमेंट का रेट पर 2 TA देने का अधिकार, पावर has been delegated to all heads of the departments. TA for attending examinations. Government employees appearing in the undermentioned examinations are entitled to TA for the journey on not more than 2 occasions. कैसा कैसा एग्जामिनेशन के लिए मिलता है? Any obligatory departmental or language examinations. उनको मैं हिंदी एग्जामिनेशन, प्राज्ञा एग्जामिनेशन लिखने के लिए कोहिमा से लुमडिंग असम में एक जगह है, उधर आया था. I was given this TA. So any obligatory departmental or language examinations you can get. Examination in vernacular language of a frontier or hill tribe. Suppose एक आदमी को बॉर्डर में पोस्ट किया जाता है, suppose collection of intelligence etc. If you know the local language, you will do better job. तो local language को उधर ही नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न हिल यूनिवर्सिटी है, उसमें ज्वाइन करके आप अगर क्विकली एक लैंग्वेज कोर्स करेंगे, so for that you can take the examination and you will get the TA. Examination for promotion in military rank in the case of military officer and civil employee. कोई पूछ रहा था ये सो एग्जामिनेशन के लिए भी, तो ऐसा है मिलिट्री रैंक ऑफिसर को, मिलिट्री ऑफिसर सिविल एम्प्लॉयमेंट में जो है उनको मिलता है examination to test the fitness for crossing efficiency bar in the case of civil and assistant civil surgeon. ये efficiency bar system अभी खत्म हो गया है. वो क्या है, ये रनिंग स्केल ऑफ पे होने के समय एक ईबी स्टेज होता है. For that to cross, to get the next increment, crossing EB efficiency bar, yeah, DPC will be there. Sometimes a test is conducted to check whether you are competent to be granted that increment. EB cross करने का competence है, उसके लिए exam. So for that exam, if it is conducted, so सारा subordinate office वालों को दिल्ली में बुलाया जाता है, उधर एग्जाम अटेंड करो, फॉर दैट TADA मिलेगा. However, the TA claim may be disallowed if ये पूरा सर्विस में only two times he can claim. उसमें भी कंडीशन लगा हुआ है. However, the TA claim may be disallowed if it is so considered that the employee concerned has culpably neglected his studies for preparing for examination, or he does not display a reasonable standard of proficiency in an examination which is not obligatory. ऐसा एक चीज है that language examination in the frontier and things exam like that. उसमें आप अपीयर करने के लिए आपको पैसा मिलता है TADA, लेकिन आप उधर जाके गोल लेकर आया, that is you have not done well in the examination. In that case, that claim can be disallowed. TA may be allowed when the announced examination is suddenly cancelled. TA आपको sanction हो गया है, that is TA advance, and you have also left, but the exam is cancelled. तो क्या होगा? You will be entitled for the TA. TA on appointment through competitive examinations. Suppose central government and central government servants के लिए भी और open candidate के लिए भी exam competitive exam होता है, उसमें compete करके आप posting लेते हैं, उसके लिए TA मिलेगा. TA on appointment through competitive exam. Central government employees other than on temporary capacity appointed to a post through competitive examination, which is open to both the government employees and others, is granted TA to join the post. If not, TA can be granted only on sanction of the president. That is, जो temporary service में है, तो उनके लिए ये TA नहीं मिलता है जनरली, बट प्रेसिडेंट साहब एक्सेप्शन देकर उसको दे सकते हैं. TA to pensioners on re-employment. Admissible for the journey to join the re-employed post. अगर एक आदमी रिटायर हो गया है, pensioner, he has become pensioner, he is offered a post in government, that is called re-employment. Re-employed post में join करने के लिए he is entitled for TA. This is also admissible to government employees who were discharged due to reduction of establishment or abolition of post. Suppose reduction of establishment, एक department ही गुम हो गया, that is abolished, or a few permanent posts have been abolished, then in that case, a new post is offered and you are going to join that post, you will be entitled for this TA. TA to those under suspension. Such employees are eligible at the rate of 2 TA for attending the inquiry from the place at which the government employee has been permitted to reside to the place of inquiry. No TA is admissible if the journey is held at an outstation at the request of the government employee. Suppose an employee is under suspension. That suspended official was serving in Delhi, but originally, though his headquarters was in Delhi, he was commuting from Meerut every day. And he is placed under suspension. Suspension may डाल देने से that person has to remain in Delhi. He cannot go every day to his hometown. Even for a visit, he has to take permission. ऐसा case में he may apply that his headquarters, he may be permitted to stay away from the headquarters for the following reasons. He can give reasons and convince the authority competent to permit. So in that case, if he is permitted to stay in his hometown, that is Meerut, enquiry naturally will be held in Delhi. Every time he is required to attend the enquiry, he will be entitled for TA. Because he is staying in Meerut with the permission of the government. Controlling officer. For the purpose of TA, somebody has to be declared as controlling officer. He has got so much of discretionary power. Retired charged officer. वही तो, हाँ. That is, if he is under suspension, he is entitled. Even if he is not under suspension, he is retired as Babita Bush. Now, to attend enquiry, he will get it. He will get a TADA. रिटायरमेंट के बाद भी इसको वो enquiry खत्म होने तक अपना headquarters maintain करना चाहिए, इधर ही रहना चाहिए. Suppose he takes permission, stays at his hometown and he comes only to attend enquiry, yes, he will be entitled. कंट्रोलिंग ऑफिसर का रूप में किसी को भी डिक्लेयर कर सकते हैं. नॉर्मली एन अंडर सेक्रेटरी लेवल ऑफिसर इज declared as controlling officer. Controlling officer for all the staff and officers serving under him, or controlling officer for all the staff and officers including he himself. ऐसा कंट्रोलिंग ऑफिसर करने से अपने लिए ट्रांसफर, अपने लिए टी एडवांस वगैरह सैंक्शन कर सकते हैं, अपना बिल खुद पास कर सकते हैं. A competent authority may declare an officer as controlling officer in respect of one officer or a class of group of officers for the purpose of TA. It may also be declared that an officer may be his own controlling officer. अपना दफ्तर में सबको ये controlling officer हो सकते हैं. One. Number two, for himself also he may be declared as controlling officer. Following procedure will be followed for the counter signature of bills of gazetted officers. In the case of gazetted officers who are not their own controlling officers, the TA bill should be signed by the DDO and countersigned by the respective controlling officer. In case the officer who is his own controlling officer, the TA bill will be countersigned by the officer concerned after it is signed by the DDO. Suppose he is not controlling officer, he will sign in the place where he has to sign as claimant. अपना बिल में जैसे क्लेम करने वाला का सिग्नेचर का एक जगह होता है, उधर ये साइन करेंगे, डीडीओ साइन करके बिल ड्रा होता है. For that matter, somebody will be, suppose there is only one officer in Vijayawada office who is equivalent to under secretary, and he is the head of office, and he has been declared for as a controlling officer for all the officers and staff working in that office. In that case, for all others, he will the DDO will sign and he will countersign, bill will be passed and paid. In case he goes on tour and he submits a bill, the controlling officer will be somebody who is in Chennai or Hyderabad or in Delhi. His headquarters, senior officer. He will sign the bill, counter signature, uska dwara hoga. He will sign and then he will get it. Suppose he is declared as controlling officer for himself also, क्लाइम करने वाला हिज ओन बिल, अपना टीए बिल में जिस जगह क्लाइम करने वाला का सिग्नेचर होना है उधर खुद साइन करेगा, then DDO will sign, then he will counter sign the bill, अपना बिल को खुद काउंटर सिग्नेचर करेगा. Duties of controlling officer before he passes a TA claim: to scrutinize the necessity, frequency, and duration of journey and halts, and to disallow the whole or part of the TA for unnecessary journeys and protracted halts. कभी कभी ऐसा होता है तो कितना दिन उधर करने का आवश्यकता है उससे ज्यादा उधर बैठ जाएंगे डीए के चक्कर में. सो उसको कभी कभी डिस्क्रिशनरी पावर यूज करके वो खुद वो कंट्रोलिंग ऑफिसर में अलाउ टू स्क्रूटनाइज द डिस्टेंस एंटर्ड इन द बिल. कभी कभी ऐसा होता है 700 किलोमीटर को 1200 किलोमीटर भरा जाता है. तो ऐसा केस में डिस्टेंस, एक्चुअल डिस्टेंस क्या है तो उसको चेक करना कंट्रोलिंग ऑफिसर का ड्यूटी है. टू सैटिस्फाई हिमसेल्फ दैट माइलेज एंड डेली अलाउंस हैव बीन चार्ज्ड एट द अप्रोप्रिएट रेट्स and return tickets at concessional rates have been purchased where possible, and cost of transporting government servants, personal effects, etc. is reasonable. सारा कुछ चेक करना पड़ता है. That is the पर्सनल इफेक्ट्स प्राइवेट ट्रक में लेकर आ सकता है तो उस क्लेम में कुछ गड़बड़ होता है, ये सारा चेक करना है. एंड आई गेव एन एग्जांपल द अदर डे. Two officials were sent out on tour, one to Meerut and the other one to Chennai. Both of them left by Friday evening. It is for the controlling officer. So Chennai walo ko naturally they will have to give because it takes 2 days to reach this place from Delhi. Whereas the Meerut person, that official need not leave on Friday itself. He can, even if he leaves, his claim will be restricted from Monday only. These are duties of controlling officers. To observe any subsidiary rule or orders made by the competent authority for his guidance. Suppose internally departmental instructions issue क्या होता है, so that has to be followed, observed by the controlling officer. To see that in the case of stenos, PAs, Group D servants, accompanying government guested officers on tour, the particulars of the journeys are certified by the guested officers under whose instructions the journeys are performed in order to prevent fraudulent claims. हमेशा गड़बड़ होता है. सो ऑफिसर, सीनियर ऑफिसर के साथ एक PA जाता है, एक क्लरिकल स्टाफ जाता है, वो एक MTS जाता है. तो all people will make claim. That claim should synchronize with the officer's claim. तो ऑफिसर 4 दिन रहा, इन लोग 8 दिन रहे. That has to be seen. These are the duties. Tour was approved by the competent authority. Controlling officer has the power to disallow the. कैसा होगा ऐसा क्वेश्चन कैसा होगा? Once a tour was approved by the competent authority, controlling officer has the power to disallow the TA claim. Not at all. Controlling officer overall power तो competent authority का है. Suppose somebody who is the controlling officer for the purpose of duties, so the controlling officer is almost administrative officer. Controlling officer is administrative officer. But that competent authority, he may be the senior officer who is allotting duty. अगर इसको दिल्ली से मद्रास भेजा है ड्यूटी पर, that is requirement of the duty, that ऑफिस ड्यूटी को क्या चाहिए वो इसलिए टूर अप्रूव करके भेजा है, उसको कंट्रोलिंग ऑफिसर कैनॉट डू. उस क्लेम में that claim whether it is submitted advance लेकर गया. Take an example. एक आदमी दिल्ली से चेन्नई को टूर में भेजा, ऑर्डर टू गो ऑन टूर by the competent authority, that is over. Then that will be there. He cannot, controlling officer cannot overrule that. Then at what time that person has to leave, by which class he is entitled to travel, and how many days he has to stay, whether he has overstayed, and so on. With regard to the claim, passing of the claim, he has got full powers. That is controlling officer. I told you that example. मीरठ वाला फ्राइडे में जाकर नेक्स्ट मंडे में आया, उधर 2 दिन इधर 2 दिन, बिना मतलब का टीए दे सकते हैं कंट्रोलिंग ऑफिसर, बट ही कैन नॉट से नो टू द टूर, अप्रूव्ड टूर, वो नहीं हो पाएगा. ओके, इसके अलावा सो देयर विल बी अ नोट्स ऑन एलटीसी. एलटीसी में आपका एलॉबरेट एलटीसी क्वेश्चंस नहीं आता है. ट्रांसफर टीए का family definition for the purpose of transfer TA, family definition for the purpose of LTC, ये दोनों याद रखना है. And the LTC nowadays has been relaxed for new entrants, तो उनका ये क्या क्या है वो देखना है. So the LTC में, so and the encashment of leave at the time of availing LTC, ये भी देखना है. So only that much. I think I have already forwarded. अगर नहीं है तो TA complete करने के बाद LTC का notes भेजा जाता है. Okay. Now next item is leave rule. notes है ना. These rules, CCS leaves. Actually, somebody sent me a leave rule that is updated leave rule बोल के एक 73 पेज का एक डॉक्यूमेंट भेजे थे some friend. तो उसको आपको भेजूंगा मैं. in case there is some difference, I'll update that notes, but in between वो 73 पेज का जो डॉक्यूमेंट है वो भी आपको भेजूंगा. इफ यू वांट टू जस्ट गो थ्रू, यू कैन गो थ्रू दैट. My cursory glance did not reveal any major change. These rules are applicable to the government servants appointed to civil services in Government of India. They shall not apply to railway employees, all India services, deputationists from state governments, and contingent paid staff. इनके लिए मेनली हम ये देखना है, रेलवे एम्प्लॉइज के लिए नॉट अप्लीकेबल है. लीव कैन नॉट बी क्लेम्ड एज अ मैटर ऑफ राइट. लीव कैन नॉट बी, दैट इज द बेसिक रूल. लीव कैन नॉट बी क्लेम्ड एज अ मैटर ऑफ राइट on grounds of exigencies of service. Leave of any kind may be refused or revoked by the sanctioning authority. अगर कोई अप्लाई करता है लीव, उसको रिफ्यूज कर सकता है बिकॉज ऑफ एक्सिजेंसीज ऑफ ड्यूटी 1, और सैंक्शन करने के बाद 2 दिन 4 दिन या नाउ यू सॉ इन द टी रूल, वो अंडमान में लीव स्पेंड करता है, उसको रिवोक करके उसको बुला सकता है वापस. कंपल्सरली यू कैन बी रिकॉल्ड with allowance, without allowance. That is why you are 24 hours government servant. As FR 11 says, you are 24 hours government servant. So you can be called even while on leave. लेकिन leave can be curtailed, leave can be refused, but leave asked for by the employee cannot be modified. The kind of leave, suppose आपके पास पूरा 240 days EL पड़ा है, 300 days ऑफ पे लीव पड़ा है, बट यू आर अप्लाइंग फॉर एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी लीव जिसमें आपको पे भी नहीं मिलता है. किसी कारण से यू आर आस्किंग फॉर एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी लीव. लीव नोट्स नहीं भेजा गया है, लीव का नोट्स है ना, नहीं है. ओ आई सी. जस्ट आई विल टेक अ ब्रेक. सॉरी, नोट्स अभी अभी भेजा है जस्ट. लीव, वैसे एक बात है, लीव रूल इज वेरी स्मॉल रूल, and we have been using this leave rule practically. When I joined service, I purchased 2 rule books, one leave, another one GPF. क्योंकि आज का जमाने में जैसा नहीं है, विदाउट GPF एडवांस ये टू कंडक्ट yourself, it was not easy those days. So I purchased 2 rule books for myself, जैसे सरकारी नौकरी में आने से. But when I took the SO examination, I thought, अरे लीव रूल में क्या पढ़ना है, तो उसमें पढ़ने के क्या है, वो तो हम जानते ही हैं. ऐसा करके पहुंच गया. आई वेंट टू देवनगर. देवनगर में मेरा सेंटर पड़ा. एंड उधर, बिकॉज आई वेंट फ्रॉम सरोजन नगर, आई यूज्ड टू गो 1 hour एडवांस, इन एडवांस. कभी ब्रेक डाउन हो सकता, 512 के बारे में कुछ पता नहीं है, तो वेल इन एडवांस उधर जाकर बैठ. जिस दिन रूल का पेपर, लास्ट पेपर होता था, तो उसको देख, उसके बारे में सोचा, अरे क्यों सब कुछ पढ़े हैं, व्हाई नॉट लीव रूल, उसको क्यों छोड़ना है. ऐसा उसका लीव रूल किताब के लेकर छत पर चला गया. तो उसको 40 minutes, I took 40 minutes to go through that leave rule. And when I came down, sat for the examination, to my surprise, out of 100 marks question paper, this leave rule alone 35 marks का क्वेश्चन उसमें था. तो इसलिए कोई भी चीज को ये दिस इज ओनली अ स्मॉल रूल, आई एम वेरी फेमिलियर विद दैट, ऐसा करके छोड़िए मत. पता नहीं कहाँ आपका लक किधर है. लीव रूल में 35 का मार्क का क्वेश्चन आए, एंड आई वाज द हैप्पीएस्ट पर्सन. So I can't forget this leave rule. Leave cannot be claimed as a matter of right on the grounds of exigencies of service. Leave of any kind may be refused or revoked by the sanctioning authority. Nevertheless, the sanctioning authority may encourage the government servants to avail leave regularly, preferably annual. ऐसा भी एक जमाना आया था during my service period. We were asked to declare every year beginning January में, हमें ये बोला जाता था, you have to project your leave requirement for the whole year. आपको कितना दिन छुट्टी रिक्वायरमेंट होगा ड्यूरिंग दिस ईयर, ऐसा करके हमसे लिखित रूप से लिया जाता था. दैट वाज नॉट वर्किंग प्रॉपरली, बिकॉज जो बोलता है मेरे को 2 महीना की छुट्टी चाहिए, वो छुट्टी लेता ही नहीं. कोई बोलता है मेरे को छुट्टी नहीं चाहिए थ्रू आउट द ईयर, वो 4 महीना छुट्टी लेता है. सो इट वाज नॉट वर्किंग प्रॉपरली, सो दे लेफ्ट दैट आइडिया. इसलिए गवर्नमेंट सर्वेंट्स शुड नॉट थिंक लीव इज देयर राइट, ऐसा नहीं सोचना चाहिए. 1. नंबर 2, गवर्नमेंट शुड एनकरेज स्टाफ to avail leave. It's not open to the leave sanctioning authority to alter the kind of leave due and applied for. The government servant खुद जो kind of leave apply करता है उसको बदल नहीं सकते हैं. You cannot change. Leave should not ordinarily be denied during the last 10 years of service. This rule very deceptive, as if बड़ा मेहरबानी जैसा लगता है. It's not mercy that they have put this rule that no leave should be refused during the last 10 months, ऐसा बोलते हैं. इसका मतलब if you are asking for leave during last 10 years, you will be taking leave, availing leave. Otherwise, you will encash leave at the time of this thing, retirement. So इसलिए it seems, it looks like a concession, but it is not so. Any claim to leave to the credit of the government servant who is dismissed or removed or who resigns from government service ceases from the date of such dismissal, removal or resignation. कोई रिजाइन करता है या किसी को डिसमिसल हो जाता है, उनको लीव अकाउंट में जो बैलेंस पड़ा है वो नहीं दिया जाता है. But in the case of resignation, there is a slight concession is there. In case where the resignation is only technical resignation, then in that case you will get all the benefit. That past leave जो भी account में है, that you will not lose. If a government servant resigns, he is entitled for lump sum payment of cash equivalent in respect of earned leave at credit on the date of resignation to the extent of half pay, the half of such leave at credit subject to a maximum of 150 days. कोई रिसाइन करता है नॉर्मल कोर्स में, सो उसका खाते पर 300 दिन, दैट इज 300 days मैक्सिमम accumulation पड़ा है, तो then 50% not exceeding 150 days, that will be allowed to be encashed. Different kinds of leave can be availed in combination except casual leave, because casual leave को leave माना नहीं जाता है. Casual leave, when you go on other kinds of leave, what you get, if at all you get some money, that will be leave salary. Whereas during CL, casual leave period, whatever you get, that is not leave salary, it is salary. Leave shall not be granted to a government servant under suspension or those decided to be dismissed from the government. Ye first part you know, that is जो suspension में है उनको leave entitlement नहीं है. They will not be granted any leave. That's why they are not entitled to avail LTC also. So suspended official will not be eligible to ask for leave, avail leave. Whereas these other item, that is a government servant who is dismissed or no, who has been decided on file. So case that is case was conducted against a particular official and it has been decided by the discipline authority to impose the penalty of dismissal. ऐसा file में decision हो गया, उसके बाद you cannot ask for any leave. If a government servant on LPR is recalled, cash lump sum will be paid in lieu of unexpired portion of leave. एक आदमी, that is LPR means leave preparatory to retirement. That is not a separate kind of leave. That LPR you are availing some eligible kind of leave, that is EL, HPL वगैरह, उसको लेने से that before just before retirement, that is called LPR. LPR से recall होता है. Suppose you have been sanctioned 100 days EL as LPR, you are called to duty while you are enjoying your leave, you are called to duty, then you will be entitled for the lump sum amount. जो पहले लीव में जाने के समय आपको पैसा मिल गया होगा, लीव सैलरी एडवांस, so that will be returned. A government servant who avails leave on medical grounds is required to produce medical certificate to avail leave and a fitness certificate for resuming duties. हम लोग colloquially बोलते हैं, he is on medical leave, I have applied for medical leave. मैं medical leave में जाना चाहता था, it was refused. लेकिन there is no medical leave as such. You can take any kind of leave on medical ground, that's all. It is only colloquially, it is in usage. I am on medical leave, he is on medical leave and all. There is no such leave as medical leave. So if you are availing, say, half pay leave, 30 days on medical ground, you are supposed to give a medical certificate that you are sick. That medical certificate may be from CGHS doctors if your area is covered by CGHS, or where the area is not covered by CGHS, then it can be from authorized medical attendant. that is a government doctor under whom you can be on treatment, and there is a medical attendance rules covering that. So that doctor can give a certificate for this sickness and as well as fitness. Suppose there is no AMA, authorized medical attendant भी declare नहीं हुआ कोई भी. I am in a small town like Patukottai. So where there is no AMA, there is only any private doctor. For practicing medicine, you are supposed to register with the government, state government, and they will issue a number. आप किसी से डॉक्टर प्रिस्क्रिप्शन देखने से उनका नंबर होता है, registration number. That with that number, that if a doctor is practicing, whether it is government practice or private practice, he has to register himself with the state government. Then such a doctor is registered medical practitioner, RMP. So you can get a fitness certificate from him also. In respect of employees opted for CGHS facilities and availing the medical facilities provided by his spouse employer, the medical certificate for availing the commuted leave issued by the hospital or medical practitioners approved by that employer is allowed. Medical certificate could be produced from CGHS doctors or authorized medical attendants and from registered medical practitioner in case of non-gazetted government employees. Leave applied on medical certificate due to disability should not be refused without reference to medical authority. हम बिल्कुल ही आगे काम करने के लिए, that is सरकारी नौकरी के लिए, I am not in a position to continue my government job. ऐसा करके मैं एक medical certificate ले आता हूँ. You should not just reject it and keep quiet. You may not allow invalid pension on that certificate, on the basis of that certificate, but for giving medical leave on a medical ground, you have to refer him to a medical authority. The ceiling of maximum leave under Rule 12 will not be applied. So medical leave के लिए whoever, if somebody is asking, if now notes I have given, then if a non-gazetted government servant resides in a CGHS covered area, produce the MC issued by RMP is acceptable, not acceptable. You have to get it from the CGHS. If your area is covered by CGHS, then you have to. Then, in case fitness certificate emergency पर आपको join करना है, CGHS certificate नहीं हो पाया, you can bring a fitness certificate from the RMP. Most of the cases they will allow you to join, but they can insist you have to get a fitness certificate from the CGHS. So CGHS से cover होने से you are expected to give only certificate from the CGHS. Leave applied or any leave debited after government servant is incapacitated shall be remitted back. That is incapacitated मतलब क्या है, invalid pension में जाने का permit कर दिया गया है. Then thereafter that leave account need not be debited. Family member may submit leave application medical certificate if the employee is unable to submit the same. तो लीव रूल के लिए ये स्पेसिफिकली बोला गया है. इनके the basic rules is that basic rule is that any claim, any application, any document that is to be submitted by the government servant to the office must be signed by him. He has to submit all the claims, representations, papers, etc. only under his signature. अगर किसी कारण से वो गिर गया, चोट लग गया, लिख नहीं पाते हैं, हाथ काम नहीं करता है, so he is not able to sign any paper, then in that case then it can be signed by family member. If an employee is transferred to foreign service while on leave, he ceases from the date of such transfer to be on leave. कोई छुट्टी पर रहने के समय वो पहले कभी अप्लाई किया होगा फॉरेन सर्विस में जाने का, उधर पोस्टिंग आ गया, then his leave will be curtailed by that period and he will be relieved on this thing, foreign service. While overstay after leave is debited to half-pay leave EOL without leave salary, willful absence, suppose overstay hai, somebody has been sanctioned 30 days EL and he is staying 40 days, that 10 days without the approval. This is not break in service, it is not a very big mistake. तो 30 दिन का छुट्टी लेकर 40 दिन बैठ गए तो आने के बाद रेगुलराइजेशन के लिए अप्लाई कर सकते हैं, लेकिन if it is proved that it was willful absence, deserting the post वगैरह वगैरह, तो in that case action will be taken and leave that regularize करने का leave sanction नहीं करेंगे. Willful absence after expiry of leave renders him liable for action, discipline action. Leave of one kind availed earlier can be converted into leave of another kind at a later date at the request of the official and at the discretion of the leave sanctioning authority. एक छुट्टी पर गए हैं, you availed leave, extraordinary leave, उसके लिए उसको पैसा नहीं मिला है, but आने के बाद within 1 month he is applying for conversion of that extraordinary leave into EL. Then in that case, suppose you can put this example very well. He availed one official who did not have, no, he had EL. An official had EL in his account, but he applied for extraordinary leave. He availed it. 30 दिन का extraordinary leave ले लिया without pay. But after going without pay, उसको दिमाग में आया है, अरे ये क्यों ऐसा होना चाहिए? So he, on his return, within 1 month, he applies for conversion of that extraordinary leave into EL. Then that will be converted. Condition is he has to apply within 1 month on resumption of duty. तो आने के बाद 1 महीना के अंदर अप्लाई करने से वो कन्वर्ट करके एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी लीव को EL बना के दे देंगे. Then in that case, no, this is for, you are asking, Babita, you are asking for regularization. If government servant has other kind of leave balance, then also UAL may be debited or not. That is, if you are asking for regularization, then regularization can be done only through EOL or HPL. That is some unauthorized, that is 30 दिन लिया छुट्टी, 40 दिन के बाद आया, you are asking for regularization of those 10 days. No, if he has not applied for, that is, if he has not applied for EOL, regularization purpose, yes, it can be. Without his application, that can be sanctioned to regularize unauthorized period. But जब उसके पास छुट्टी है, उस समय भी he wants to avail only EOL, that for that he has to apply. तो अगर ये कुछ और चीज मांगता है, इन लोग EOL बना नहीं सकते हैं. They cannot even advise. जो मांगता है, this official wants, only that leave should be given. He was not absconded from duty. Absconding means unquestionable. That if you are absconding from duty, that is called deserting the post. अगर deserting करते हैं, abscond करते हैं, then disciplinary action, major penalty, Rule 14 inquiry होगा. That is one of the major worth for major penalty proceedings. Leave of one kind, again, it's not a matter of right. Conversion at the discretion of. Please allow the voice. Are you getting me now? The voice is okay now? No government servant may be granted leave for a continuous period exceeding 5 years, except with the sanction of the president. Normally, maximum period can be only 5 years, different kinds of leave. So more than that, nobody is entitled. But if there is a sufficient reason, beyond 5 years, leave can be sanctioned beyond 5 years also by the President of India. And another, the latest one, that line we have to add, in case a government servant who goes on leave for 5 years, different kinds of leave, if he stays beyond that 5 years period, then it would be treated as if he has resigned his service. He will lose all the benefits. Okay. No government servant may be more than 5 years. An employee on leave should not take up any employment elsewhere without obtaining prior sanction of the competent authority. इसका मतलब क्या है? Competent authority से permission लेते बिना आप दूसरा employment में काम नहीं कर सकते हैं. An employee on leave should not take up any employment elsewhere without obtaining prior sanction. इसका मतलब कोई परमिशन मिल सकता है. That is, इसका मतलब without obtaining permission from the sanction from the competent authority means there is some occasion where the competent authority can sanction the government servant to take up private employment. That is only during study leave. Study leave period mein officially the president can sanction with the permit a part-time job by the official who is on study leave, especially for those people who are given leave to go abroad and study. Countries like New Zealand, Australia, very easily you get Canada, very easily you get a part-time job. Of chutti study leave ke samay, you are allowed to undertake a part-time job. Request for conversion of leave of one kind to the other has to be made within 30 days from the date of expiry of the leave, the relevant leave. Kinds of leave: debitable, not debitable. वो क्या होता है debitable, not debitable? So because there is an account, suppose casual leave, it is not a leave, but for this purpose, debitable leave, because there is an account. Casual leave के लिए एक stipulated account है, 8 दिन casual leave, उसमें 1 दिन लिया माइनस किया जाता है, account रखा जाता है. So that is debitable. Earned leave, debitable. Off pay leave, debitable. Commuted leave, yes, in a way it is debitable. Leave not due, it is also debitable. Not debitable, extraordinary leave, koi nahi hai. It is given just like that. Muft mein diya jata hai. Extraordinary leave, no account. It's not debitable. When there is no account, it's where to debit. There is no, it's not debitable. Maternity leave, only the stipulation is there, you are entitled for this much leave. That's all. So it is not debitable. Study leave, that also stipulated period is there, but there is no separate leave account. So it's not debitable. The work-related illness and injury leave, it's a peculiar leave. If a government servant is admitted in hospital due to sickness and irrespective of the period of your hospitalization, you can be granted leave. That is हॉस्पिटल लीव वगैरह वगैरह को सबस्यूम करके कैंसिल करके ये लीव अभी लागू में है. चाइल्ड अडॉप्शन लीव, फॉर दैट आल्सो स्टिपुलेटेड एंटाइटल्ड पीरियड, वो स्टिपुलेशन है, लेकिन इट इज नॉट डेबिटेबल. Child care leave also, that separate account is kept, but it's not like the formal EL, HPL like that. Casual leave. Casual leave is not recognized as leave, nor is a government servant is treated to be absent from duty for the purpose of salary. उसको छुट्टी पर है ऐसा माना नहीं जाता. CL cannot therefore be combined with any kind of leave except a special casual leave. स्पेशल कैजुअल लीव का अलावा अदर देन स्पेशल कैजुअल किसी और लीव के साथ इसको कैजुअल लीव को कंबाइन नहीं कर सकते हैं. नॉर कैन इट बी क्लब्ड विथ जॉइनिंग टाइम, इसको जॉइनिंग टाइम के साथ भी वो क्लब करके नहीं ले सकते हैं. हॉलीडेज प्रोसीडिंग, इंटरवीनिंग और फॉलोइंग द पीरियड ऑफ CL will not be counted as part of CL. Suppose आप फ्राइडे, थर्सडे, फ्राइडे, मंडे, ट्यूसडे 4 दिन कैजुअल लीव लेने से इन बिटवीन जो है सैटरडे संडे, दैट विल नॉट बी काउंटेड एज कैजुअल लीव. Whereas if you take these 4 days as EL earned leave, then in between जो हॉलीडे है वो भी गिना जाएगा as leave. You will lose that. Half a day casual leave can be availed. LTC can also be availed on casual leave. That is, the LTC rule के लिए एक ही condition है that you should avail some kind of leave. That some kind of leave includes the casual leave also. Every government servant is entitled for 8 days casual leave. If joined service in the middle of the year, then the casual leave is allowed proportionately. और जून में जाकर ज्वाइन किया, then proportion 7 months, so that will be proportionately allowed. Competent authority may allow full 8 days CL at a stretch, using his discretion. वो 8 दिन पूरा भी, that is in between middle of the year आकर ज्वाइन करता है नया एम्प्लॉयमेंट, तब भी if the competent authority uses his discretion, he can grant him all the 8 days. An employee can avail 5 days casual leave, excluding holidays at a time. So only at a stretch of मांगने से only 5 days CL will be sanctioned. Head of office or any other competent authority can grant more than 5 days CL at a time at his discretion. लेकिन 5 दिन ही दे सकते हैं at a stretch. But if the head of office wishes or any other competent authority wishes, then he can use his discretion and grant all the 8 days at a stretch. CL cannot be availed in combination with the regular leave. With effect from 1/9/2008, that is, the number of casual leave available for employees with disabilities shall be 12 days in a calendar year. The 1/9/2008 से disabled officials को 12 दिन, 8 दिन का जगह 12 दिन कैजुअल लीव दिया जाता है, in order to meet specific requirements relating to disability of officials. The additional benefit of 4 days, हमको 8 दिन मिलता है, disabled government servants को 12 दिन मिलता है. 8 दिन तक उनको ऐसा गिना जाएगा, it is casual leave. And the extra 4 days जो दिया जाता है, that is treated as special casual leave. What is special casual leave? This is a kind of casual leave granted for specific purposes. Special casual leave is granted to a maximum of 30 days on the following grounds. Maximum. Specific sports related activities. कोई काउंटी क्रिकेट खेलेंगे उसके लिए नहीं, नेशनल लेवल पर उस समय वो मिलता है. इंजुरीज ड्यूरिंग स्पोर्ट्स इवेंट्स. सपोज ऐसा बड़ा टूर्नामेंट खेलने के समय इंजुरी, स्पोर्ट्स इवेंट में इंजुरी होता है, उसको कन्वलेस करने के लिए वो स्पेशल कैजुअल लीव दिया जाता है. कल्चरल एक्टिविटीज, दैट आल्सो नेशनल लेवल पर कल्चरल एक्टिविटीज. माउंटेनियरिंग एंड एक्सपीडिशंस, उसके लिए भी स्पेशल कैजुअल लीव मिलता है. फैमिली प्लानिंग रीजंस, उसको आपको याद रखना होगा, बिकॉज डिफरेंट रेट्स आर प्रिस्क्राइब्ड. उसको याद रखना बहुत जरूरी है, बिकॉज बार बार ये क्वेश्चन में आता है. फॉर टेकिंग अप डिपार्टमेंट एग्जामिनेशंस, यस, उसके लिए भी ये मिलेगा. जितना दिन एग्जाम है उतना दिन मिलेगा. एसोसिएशंस, यूनियन मीटिंग्स, कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी एक्टिविटीज, उसके लिए भी ये मिलता है. Periods of बंद, natural calamities, if the residence is beyond 8 kilometers. लेकिन ऐसा हमारा बकवास डिपार्टमेंट है, तो even if our residence is है मंजू, yes, is there any limit of special casualty? Yes, it is there. It is there. 30 days maximum limit है. तो पर्टिकुलर पर्पस, आप ब्लड डोनेशन करने के लिए जाते हैं, आधा दिन मिलेगा. वोटिंग के लिए जाते हैं, आधा दिन मिलेगा. दीज आर ऑल स्टिपुलेशंस, दीज आर ऑल लिमिट्स. और क्या है? बंद. सो इफ द रेसिडेंस इज बियॉन्ड 8 किलोमीटर्स, बट हमारा डिपार्टमेंट 8 किलोमीटर से ज्यादा हो तब भी यू आर आस्क्ड टू कम टू ड्यूटी to meet the specific requirements of disabled government servants. So they from 1/9/2008 in this ये भी लागू है. अदर ग्राउंड्स किस लिए और किस कारण के लिए ये मिलता है? इलेक्शन, वोटिंग देने के लिए वो लीव भी अवेल करते हैं, वोटिंग भी नहीं करते हैं. इसलिए दिल्ली में तो काफी वोटिंग होना चाहिए, पोलिंग नहीं होता है. छुट्टी अवेल करके वोटिंग देने नहीं जाते हैं. होम गार्ड ट्रेनिंग, टेरिटोरियल आर्मी कैंप, ब्लड डोनेशन, ये सब के लिए कैजुअली मिलता है. फैमिली प्लानिंग, ए मैक्सिमम ऑफ 5 वर्किंग डेज ऑफ एसेक्टिव operations where additional operation is required, head of the department can sanction another 5 days. When the husband undergoes vasectomy, the female government servant is sanctioned 1 day ACL by the head of the office. For sterilization operations, including tubectomy, laparoscopy for female government employees, 10 days ACL. इसको पढ़ लीजिएगा. So these are the stipulated special casual leave limits. Calamities. Special casual leave can be granted when there is dislocation on account of national calamities, band, strike, etc. equal to the Manju, note this, equal to the number of days of dislocation. उसमें कोई स्टिपुलेशन इतना दिन तक ही दे सकता है नहीं है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. बिकॉज the communication is disturbed, you can't do anything. There is a flood, you can't do anything. जितना दिन पानी घर के अंदर है, आप कहाँ दफ्तर पहुंचेंगे? Even boating service available, then also you won't be able to. I came from Kohima to Bhopal to take up some examination. सरकार का ये नहीं है, that is, it was not related to government obligatory examination. I wanted to get some diploma, so I came all the way from Kohima to this thing, availing some 4 or 5 days casual leave. 5 days casual लेकर उधर पहुंच गया. इस दिन Saturday, Sunday, उस टाइम no, then it was Saturday was not a holiday. So इधर प्रीफिक्स सफिक्स ये सब करके उधर पहुंच गया. एग्जाम लिख के खत्म कर, सैटरडे तक एग्जाम खत्म कर दिया. नो, आई कंप्लीटेड द एग्जाम, स्टार्टेड my return journey. It was 1974, and when I went to the railway station, इतना भीड़ था, and I was told वो जॉर्ज फर्नांडिस का नेतृत्व में वो railway strike था. Then I had a reserved ticket. I sat in the train. Train left. It should have gone to Calcutta. Instead, it went to somewhere Delhi or Bombay. ऐसा उधर गया. लेकिन आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते, उधर बैठ गया, देन उधर गया. देन अनदर ट्रेन, instead of going somewhere, it went to Kharagpur. Then another train, for some other place, it went to Kanpur. Then another train, it went to some Lumding or something. So ऐसा करके 11 दिन ट्रेन में ही गुजरा. पॉकेट में सब खाली हो गया. So we went there. Finally, I reached the only railway station of Kohima, in Nagaland, that is Dimapur. उसके बाद पहुंच गया. Then I explained this story. Then I got all these days as a special casualty. So उसमें कोई limitation नहीं है. Then a departmental examination. Special casual leave can be granted by the head of the department or head of the office for the days of departmental examination, which are neither obligatory nor entail a condition of preference of service. ऐसा कोई obligatory exam हो, just like your Pragya examination, then you will get a special casual leave. Then employees, cooperative societies. Office bearers, members, and delegates engaged in employees cooperative societies established for central government employees can be granted special casual leave by the head of office to attend meetings to meet the journey time and duration of meeting. Union meetings, 5 days special casual leave in a calendar year can be granted for local delegates and local members of executive committee. For outstation, it is 10 days special casual leave granted and 20 days in all. Then sports and cultural activities, 30 days special casual leave can be granted by the head of the department for mountaineering purpose. 15 days special casual leave participating in dancing and singing competitions sponsored by the government. Then LTC can be availed during special casual leave also. Okay. We'll see in the next class. That is tomorrow. Okay. Good night.